very, very sad that we're talking about another mass shooting in America, particularly relevant to you because, of course, you would have been commemorating your son's 19th birthday on Sunday. Manuel, can you just remind us of the circumstances around how Manuel was killed, how Joaquin was killed, sorry?
My son Joaquin was shot down in the Parkland shooting inside his school. That was almost 2 years ago.
And of course, it must have been quite surreal that at a time when you're commemorating the shock and tragedy of losing your own son, there is yet another mass shooting and just 10 minutes away from where you were. How did you feel when you heard about what was happening?
Well, let me tell you, that happens here every single day. Now, we lose 100 people per day here. Because of gun violence. So what happened 2 days ago, we had two mass shootings, by meaning that there's more than two persons that are victims from a shooting. And it happened in two different cities, actually, in the same day. So that's why it's so impacting the whole thing. But in reality, I'm used to receive calls from all around the nation letting me know that another person or another group was hurt by gun violence.
Manuel, you were put in contact with some of the families who were affected by this recent shooting. What did you say to them? What can you say to them when someone's lost a child?
The families are waiting for answers, are expecting answers, and I'm telling you this because of my own experience. But you will listen to politicians moving away from the debate, and they don't want to talk about guns. They don't blame on guns. If you heard the message from our president today, you will know what I'm talking about. A president that should be actually talking about the serious problem, the root of the problem, is blaming it on video games. It's really not. It's not even realistic to what is happening here. There's video games everywhere. I believe you have a lot of video games in the United Kingdom. I believe you have a lot of things that, according to him, are affecting the mental health of the Americans.
Yeah, but what we don't have, as you say, is the access to guns. Yesterday, what we have heard from Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, is some clearly pointed language. He didn't name Trump, but clearly he's pointing towards what Trump says. He said we should soundly reject language coming out of the mouths of any leaders that feeds a climate of fear and hatred and normalises racist sentiments. Leaders who demonise those who don't look like us or suggest that other people, including immigrants, threaten our way of life or refer to other people as subhuman or imply that America belongs to just one type of people.
Well, I agree. He was here for 8 years. We had a blue Senate, red House, blue. We had all possible combination of colors, and they haven't been able to solve the problem. We don't like to call it gun control. We already learned that term is not welcome to the whole community, to the whole nation. So we talk about gun safety. This is about saving lives. And what is really hurting is not only that there is a speech of hate and targeting different demographics. In this case, it was affecting directly me as a Latino, but it's also an endorse and in favor of the gun lobby. So those two things together actually make a big difference. That didn't happen before. As much as they didn't solve the problem, at least I didn't see a Barack Obama at the NRA annual convention just giving a speech of support and endorsing them.
I mean, you said this happens every day. I can see in your face you're expecting that it will happen tomorrow and again and again. How many people need to die before someone does something about this? Or will this just keep going on?
Well, things are changing. We are doing a lot. There is a lot of people that are working daily on this matter. And I see things already happening. And for example, you haven't seen many thoughts and prayers out there in the last weekend. I believe our politicians already learned finally that those are not the right words to use. So there's a whole progressive new America emerging. The youth have a clear idea of what they want, what they expect from their nation, and my hopes are on them. They will vote next year, And now the Latino voice will be raised. I'll take care of that myself because we need to really generate a change that probably hasn't been solved with the traditional ways of solving things, which is a very American thing to do.
It's just over a year and a half since you and your wife Patricia lost your son Joaquin in the most dreadful circumstances. You've spoken very eloquently and openly about the situation, but how is life for you and your family without your son?
It's devastating, but let me share with you what we do. We are still parents. We decided to feel that we are still responsible for Joaquin. Our son is not here, however, we are still here. So another advice that I give to anyone that loses a loved one is to keep on playing your role. Whatever was connecting you with that person needs to stay here, because now that person needs your voice so you can represent them. This is a matter of waking up every morning, praying, and get out of your house and do something about it. And at some point, I am really convinced that we will see some good news in our channels, our news channels.
All agree with you there wholeheartedly. Manuel, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your thoughts.